Kiali graph. Yep.
Yeah,
So you should see the Kiali graph here.
you're good.
So, welcome everyone to the Sprint 26 demo on August the 7th, 2019. We have two presenters, Joel and Mike, and Joel will start now.
Yeah, hello. So you should see my screen and the Kiali graph here. We know on the graph that we are able to see some response flags that are provided by Istio telemetry. So for instance, when I select an edge from a workload to a service and go to the response code, I can see here there's a flag like UO, and it says when I let my mouse over that there's a circuit breaker open. So this is something, it's not new, it's something that already exists for quite some time. And we've now added that also to the metrics page. So if I go to the ball service and show inbound metrics, here I've got my metrics from Istio. And now I have this response flag label that is being added. So I select the response codes and the response flag, for instance, and I can see the circuit breaker open label here. So yeah, that's the addition we had here, and the same exists also on the workload metrics and on the application metrics. The same flag is repeated. So here, we can see again the same flag. So one thing to care about is that depending on the reporter, you could be able to see the flag or not. So this is something like it's still a subtlety of the reporting telemetry by Istio, and sometimes you have to switch the reporter to see the various flags. And that's all for me. Mike, you can go.
That's cool. Thanks, Joel. So, Mike.
Good morning. Let me share my screen here. Find it. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so first up on the docket, we have a new Kiali.io website design. So if you go to Kiali.io, you notice it just looks a lot more professional. We had UXD help us with this, and I don't know, I just think it looks much better than it did before. It's also responsive, so you can look at it on your phone or tablet as well. Then switching over, so from documentation, going into Kiali. Now to integrate with documentation, we actually have a drop-down to connect to our documentation from Kiali. So now if you click on documentation, it actually takes you to the documentation index page. So switching over to some of the bugs and stuff that we crushed. So we have, there was a bug, well, probably the easiest way to show you this is to show the before and after. So let me copy this. So this was an issue that we had with showing wrong label violations for Istio objects on the sidecar. So you can see this is the before, and you can see we're showing, when he hovers over this, we're showing sidecar stuff, which shouldn't be shown. So Jay fixed that stuff. Back to my other window. Another neat feature that was added to Kiali was to the console. I go to the graph, and now we have the ability to persist all of your settings. So if you've added some filters, say you've turned on, circuit breakers or missing sidecars, any of these, and even the extends into the find and hide functions. So for instance, let's just say name equals product page. And then, so now that's actually persisted to your local browser database. So the next time you come in, that session is, all those variables are still, will come up with whatever it was they were stored to last time persisted. So let me go ahead and let's just take, to show that this actually works. I'm going to kill that screen, kill the console, open up a new one, and we should see those settings as persisted. Going to the graph, and voila, you can see we still have our settings persisted. So that can be nice, especially if you're trying to hide a bunch of things. You have a huge graph and you're always doing the same thing, trying to hide certain things. Kind of nice to be able to persist those settings between sessions. Next up, we have on the legend, we actually have, the legend is now vertical legend over to the side. It doesn't take up space. Before we had the legend that went horizontally across the graph, so it covered part of the graph, and we actually had an issue where if the screen size shrunk down small enough, that you wouldn't be able to close the graph legend because the X would be off the screen. This also led to a rewrite of the graph legend, which was a single SVG document, and now this is all in HTML, so the fonts match, and it's much easier to maintain. So I think that's it for me. There was also a bunch of bug fixes and productization enhancements that I can't show you, but that's it for me.
Thank you, Mike. Other questions? Comments? If not, we'll stop here. I'll stop the recording.